everybody. My name is Mars. You can call me MG if you'd like. And today I am here on this kind of dreary Wednesday evening. It was raining all morning and then it just got kind of chilly in the evening and very windy outside. I am here to introduce this vlog. I feel like the weather is kind of just perfect for it. This is going to be my spooky middle grade vlog. I have accumulated quite a few spooky middle grade books in the past year or so, and so I figured it would be fun to read them in a vlog for you guys. So I've got 3 picked out. Of course, all the cars are going to go by now that I'm filming this clip. It's fine. The first one that we are going to start off with is Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. I know absolutely nothing about this. The cover is sick as hell. I'm obsessed. It's got like this creepy scarecrow guy, these things in the back that are, I'm assuming, scarecrows, but they look like they're approaching the school bus, and there's also so many of them. Like, that's terrifying. And like the gradient of the sky, it's just so pretty. This is a very beat up copy. I got this, I think, for 50 cents at a used bookstore, maybe. Yeah, I don't actually know anything about the plot of this book, and I think I'm gonna leave it that way. I'm not gonna read the blurb on the back because I think it'd be fun to go in blind. I do know this is the first book in a 4-book series. If I'm remembering correctly, my friend Jess over on the channel The Hex Library loves the first 2 books in the series and then likes the second half of it, the third and fourth book, but doesn't love them as much as the first 2, which I will take pretty much any recommendation Jess gives me. Not that she recommended these books to me, but if she likes it, I'm bound to like it. We have not the exact same reading taste, but it does have a large overlap, especially when it comes to like younger books, like mid-grade stuff. So I am going to crack into this tonight, probably get all cozy in bed, crack the window to get a nice breeze in the room, and yeah, I really hope I enjoy this. There's not really any telling because, like I said, I don't know anything about this, so I don't know if it has like tropes I like or anything like that. But I am going to be optimistic about this. It is quite short, which I very much appreciate coming off of reading The Secret History. I finished that yesterday, and boy, was that a book that I read. Go check out that vlog if you're interested in more of a play-by-play, my thoughts on that. I'm very glad to be reading something that is completely different. So, yeah, I will get started on this, and I guess I will update you maybe halfway through and then at the end, because it is short, but I also want to give you, like, first thoughts, kind of, you know? So, yeah, I will check in with you when I've made progress on this. Hello, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Thursday now, and I'm halfway through Small Spaces, so I figured I would give you my little update, my first thoughts, and also tell you what this book is about, because now I have a good idea of that. So this book follows Ollie. She is an 11-year-old 6th grader in Vermont, which, great setting, Vermont in October. Love the vibes. She is dealing with some things that I will not spoil for you, even though it is pretty obvious from the start what is happening, even though we don't get confirmation until pretty much halfway through. But she is dealing with things that are way beyond her control and having a very hard time of it. And it's just kind of making her an outcast. She kind of doesn't have friends anymore, and it's a struggle, and her dad is trying to help her as best that he can, but there's only so much that he can do. She ends up one day after school finding this woman by the river who is crying hysterically and trying to convince herself to throw this book in the river. And Ollie thinks this is a terrible thing to do. She's like, how could you do that to a book? Because she loves reading. And she ends up stealing this book, and she starts reading it, and it is told as a letter, and it's a woman writing to her daughter about when the woman, was younger and got involved with these two brothers and their story about this strange smiling entity. And this story is so creepy, but Ollie cannot stop reading it. She's kind of obsessed. And on the cover of this book is printed the words small spaces. So Ollie is obsessed with this book. They end up going to this farm for a field trip, and she learns that not only is the farm owned by the woman that she found crying at the river trying to throw out this book, but the book is about this woman's ancestors and it actually happened. So some creepy things happen at the farm, and then night starts to fall, so they're heading back, and partway through their journey home, fog is rolling in, the sun is setting, and the bus breaks down. That is where I have left off. I am so excited to continue on. The vibes are impeccable. So well done. I am just so in for the spookiness of it. It's not scary, but it's definitely spooky and creepy, and I'm loving it so much. So I'm probably going to finish this really quickly because my Wi-Fi is currently out, so I can't do much besides reading, which is great. I do have other things to do, but also a nice morning spent reading is not wasted. So I am going to get on this and come back to you when I have finished this book, which will, like I said, probably be pretty soon. So I will see you then. Okay, friends, it is now 10:30 and I have finished reading Small Spaces. This was so good. I had a fantastic time and I'm very excited to continue on with the rest of the series. Did I need to be starting this new series? No. Do I need to be starting the series that I will be with the last book I'm reading in this vlog? Also no, but I'm not implementing my plan to prioritize continuing series instead of starting new ones until 2026 starts. So for these next couple of months, I'm giving myself a pass. If I start new series, that's totally fine. It's not like I'm going to be aiming to, but it's fine. Anyway, yeah, I had a grand time reading this. It was kind of exactly what I wanted. The vibes were so good. The spookiness was just what I needed right now. So, yeah. Gonna let this truck go by. This was a great start to this vlog. Next, I have another short one. I have the two short ones and then one that's a little bit bigger to round things out. But the second book I will be reading is Ghost Squad by Claribel A. Ortega. I didn't mean to pick only books for this vlog that my friend Jess really likes, but I think I did on accident. She reads a lot of spooky middle grade though, so it's not surprising. This is a standalone, so only starting 2 series in this vlog, not 3 like it could have been. But I know Jess really likes the series that this author does have, Witchlings. That's like one of her favorite series ever, but she did say this one's also very good. And I got this at a thrift store last year. Actually, the same thrift store I got this sweater at, although this sweater I only got literally last week. This I've had for about a year, so glad to be finally getting to it. I know a little bit more about this book than I did about Small Spaces. It is about a girl, I don't know her name, Lucely? Lucely. She comes from a family of witches, and her best friend accidentally unleash a horde of ghosts, and they have to put things back into order, or, bad things happen? I don't know exactly. There's a cat, though. I'm very excited. This is the cat. Apparently the cat's name is Chunk, which is a great name for a cat. Yeah, I don't know when I'll be starting this. Tonight at the very latest. My Wi-Fi's still cutting in and out, which is annoying, but it's been on enough that I think I'll be able to get a little bit done. I will also be going grocery shopping soon. Actually, I don't know if I'm going grocery shopping. I'm either going to the grocery store or to the library. Whichever one I don't do today, I'll be doing Saturday. I have to double check with my boyfriend what plan we actually decided on. But yeah, hopefully my Wi-Fi problems will completely resolve themselves while I'm out. But I will start this at some point today and give you an update when I have some thoughts on it. Hello, friends. It is just past 8 p.m. on Friday? Yes, it's Friday. I don't know why that felt wrong to me, but definitely Friday. I wanted to film this update like 10 minutes ago, but the loudest group of people I've ever heard decided to have a conversation directly outside my house on the street, and my office is in the front of the house next to the street, so you hear everything that goes on out there. And it was very annoying. Anyway, I'm here now. I am halfway through Ghost Squad. There's my proof. And I am having a really good time with this. It's very fun. So, a little bit more detailed of a synopsis for you, now that I actually have read it, is... Wow. Now there's going to be loud vehicles going by. Sure. Anyway, we have Lucelli. She lives in her house with her dad and about a bajillion ghosts of any family member you could think of for generations. Like, there's so many of them. And they oftentimes take the form of little fireflies, and that is the only way other people can see them, but Lucelli can see if they manifest into, like, a human shape. She notices one day some weird things start to happen to the ghosts. They start to fade, they start to get a little bit forgetful and unresponsive, just a little bit of concerning events. So she enlists the help of her best friend Sid to try and fix the problem, because Sid's grandmother is a witch, and the two of them steal from Sid's grandmother, which they admit is very wrong, but they do it anyway because they think it's for the greater good, and they do this spell that they think doesn't have any effect, but then some other weird things start to happen, and they're like, oh, I think we accidentally unleashed this spell, or performed the spell that unleashes evil spirits. Whoops, so now they have to fix that. And they also still have to figure out what's going on with Lucelli's family spirits and fix that issue. And along the way, they investigate the mayor, who seems to be acting kind of sketchy. They, they do have a kind of sidekick named Chunk, who is a cat, because Sid's grandmother has many cats, and they are all named after characters from the Goonies, which I think is so fun. If you didn't know, the Goonies is one of my favorite movies. I love it so much. But yeah, Chunk the cat plays a pretty big role, definitely bigger than the other cats anyway. And I'm assuming that she is going to have a large part in the second half of the book. But yeah, I'm having a good time with it. I don't think I'm quite as obsessed with it as I was with Small Spaces. I feel like this is spooky, but not as atmospheric as Small Spaces was, and the atmosphere of it is really what I was looking for. But it is still really good, and I'm excited to continue reading this. Tonight, though, I am going to do my bullet journaling for the evening and probably turn in a little bit early because I am pretty tired. So I will get back to this maybe a little bit tonight, but most definitely tomorrow. And I will see you when I've read the second half and finished Ghost Squad. Hello friends, a little bit of a disclaimer before this clip starts. There's going to be some live music playing in the background of it because my area of Philly that I live in, a bunch of the neighborhoods have put on what's called Porch Fest, where there's a bunch of things happening in these neighborhoods, and one of those things is live music all over the place. And there is a tavern like 2 blocks away from where I live that happens to be one of the venues that live music is being played at. And so I can't really do anything to stop it. You can hear it in my entire apartment, so no matter where I film this update, you will probably hear it. I actually don't know if it's loud enough for my microphone to pick up, but I'm assuming it is because I can hear it very clearly. If not, ignore this. If it is, sorry, but I genuinely can't help it. I have had the loveliest morning. I went to the library to drop off some books and pick one up. On my walk to there and back, I hit up several yard sales, because that's also part of Porch Fest, is that the neighborhood people are encouraged to have yard sales, so I walked through a bunch, didn't get anything. I also stopped by some little free libraries, didn't get anything from those either, but it was still nice to have a look around. Saw lots of cute dogs, which I love doing. I think my favorite part of going on walks is that I always see dogs in this area. I also did get to enjoy some of the live music as I was walking past places, but I have an update on the actual reading for this reading vlog, and that is that I have finished Ghost Squad, and this was so cute. I actually started like choking up a little bit at the end because it was so sweet and fun and adorable. I had a wonderful experience reading this, and I definitely want to check out this author's Witchlings series. I don't think I liked this as much as Small Spaces, but only by like a little bit of a margin. I think this is more of a like cute, spooky vibe, and what I really, really want right now is more of a creepy, spooky vibe that Small Spaces had. You can definitely hear the music now. I'm positive. It's really good. I'm having a good time being able to hear it from my house, but it is a little bit inconveniently timed right now. Anyway, yeah, I did really enjoy this, even if it isn't exactly what I was hoping for. It was fun. So, now I get to move on to the third and final book for this vlog, which I'm so excited for. This is actually the Nostalgia Train book club pick for the month of October, and that is, if I can pick it up, The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud, the first book in the Lockwood & Co. series. I picked this up at a library book sale a year and a half ago maybe. It's been a hot minute. But yeah, this is one that I'm very excited for. Again, my friend Jess and several of my other friends really love this book series, and also the Netflix series, which unfortunately got canceled. Not that I would watch it because I don't have Netflix, but whatever. I know that this, I think it might take place in an alternate history timeline. I don't know that for certain, though, actually. That might just be something I made up entirely. I don't know. But our main characters are children who work for this guy, Lockwood, and they exorcise ghosts. Potentially, I think that is the gist of things, but of course I will give you a more detailed explanation of the story as I get into it and actually learn what it's about. But I am going to end this clip now and put you out of your suffering of having to listen to me talk over this music. I will enjoy listening to the music and probably get a little bit more reading done before I go to work this evening. I will see you when I've made progress on the Screaming Staircase. Hello, friends. I am exhausted. I had kind of a rough day at work today. I don't know if I mentioned this in the vlog, but long story short, one of the freezers at work is broken, and considering I work at an ice cream shop, it's kind of a big deal. And we had like a workaround. We figured out not how to fix it, but like we have a temporary solution in place that's working like 70% efficiently as we had hoped it would. Someone is coming in tomorrow to try and fix it. Or at the very least, they're gonna look at it, which is something, I guess. But like, it was just a long day at work, and I'm getting my period soon. It's just been a few things all piling on top of each other. Anyway, it is Monday at like 8:15-ish in the evening, and I've just hit the halfway point in the Screaming Staircase. I am enjoying this. I'm not loving it. First of all, this isn't really middle grade. It's like, I'd say lower YA. It's definitely YA, but on the like younger end of the spectrum of YA, because YA does kind of cover a huge age range. So it's not quite middle grade, but it's only like a step above middle grade. I'm still considering it middle grade for the purposes of this vlog because I don't feel like changing my criteria for it. It's fine. Anyway, it's good. The writing style is not quite what I expected. It's kind of like detached from the story despite being in first person. It's very strange. It's also very info dumpy, and the chronology of it is strange. There were a huge chunk of chapters at the very beginning that were like the modern timeline, like the current timeline we're following, and then right when this major action point happened, we shifted to part 2, which was several chapters in a row of a flashback of our main characters and how they came to be together in this situation, and then we cut back to the present timeline. I don't know. I'm not loving it. Basically, we follow Lucy as our main character, and she, as many children can see ghosts, and she ends up working for Anthony Lockwood, who is not an adult, as I assumed. I thought that the head of this agency was an adult. He's not. He's only like 17 or 18. He can still see ghosts, but he's at like the end of the spectrum. Okay. The end of the like age range of when like seeing ghosts is a thing. Lucy is, I believe, 15 or 16. And then there's also George who works with them, and he is like their research guy. Anthony Lockwood, they call him Anthony and Lockwood interchangeably. Then there's one guy who calls him Tony as like a jab at him because they don't like each other. Anyway, Lockwood, his specialty is sight with a capital S. There's a lot of words in here that get capital letters like sight and the problem, which is something that happened 50 or 60 years ago that like sent all of these ghosts into a frenzy and like became this big haunting epidemic in England, because that is where we are. But he can see death glows is what they're called, which is basically just like the sight of a death will glow, and he's very good at seeing those things. Lucy's specialty is listening. She can hear ghostly things that other people can't really hear. Her sight isn't quite as good. Yeah, it's very interesting. I just don't think the execution is to my tastes. We haven't really gotten to the screaming staircase of the title. It's a bit strange. We did have a staircase in that beginning section that played an important part in a death, but that was kind of just like the cold open section, and we've moved past that. Um, but they were essentially investigating this haunting after this guy fell down the stairs and died. And the widow was like, "My husband's haunting this house. I'm not gonna stay there." They find out it's not him, it was this other ghost that had kind of been unearthed after being like subdued for about 50 years. And she's the one doing a whole bunch of stuff. And now they're kind of investigating her history and the story around her death, trying to solve this cold case. They need a lot of money, basically, and so they are trying to bring more notoriety to their ghost, not hunting, but like the agency that they run where they perform exorcisms and things. So yeah, very interesting. I'm having a good time. I'm just not super duper obsessed with it, you know? So, yeah, I am gonna watch Breaking Dawn Part 1 now because that's where I'm up to in my Twilight watching that I've been doing over the past week. And then probably read another chapter or two of this in bed while waiting for my boyfriend because I'm always in bed before him. Yeah, that's been my day, essentially, and where I'm up to in this book. I guess I will see you when I finish it. Hello, friends, and happy Tuesday. It is 10 a.m., and I do have to get ready for work in a moment, but I've just finished reading The Screaming Staircase, so I figured I would give you my final update here. This was good. I wasn't, like, obsessed with it. I do feel like the writing style is really what kept me from being so obsessed with this book like I wanted to be, but I still had a fun time. I thought the characters were interesting. The mystery was a little bit weird to me. The screaming staircase in the title, we didn't find out what that meant until like 250 pages into this book, and this book is just under 400 pages, so quite a ways into it. And the staircase wasn't so much of a major point in the story. I feel like there were definitely things that were more important to the story that would make a better title. But I mean, the Screaming Staircase does sound pretty cool, but just wasn't really the main focus of the book. So I don't know why that is the title besides the fact that it sounds cool. I will be continuing on with this series. I did enjoy it enough for that. I'm unsure if I'm going to keep this copy because I don't see myself collecting the rest of the books. But I don't know. It's very well kept for the fact that I bought it secondhand. Like, it is in good condition. I don't know, I'll probably keep it for now, and then the next time I do a big unhaul, I will look at it again and decide whether it should stay on my shelf. But yeah, that is everything. We had a book that I really loved and really delivered the vibes that I wanted. We had another one that was really good, but not quite the right vibes. This third book didn't really fit the prompt of a spooky middle grade because it was a little bit more YA than I thought it would be, but it did fit the spookiness that I wanted, even though the writing style wasn't great. So, like, nothing overly amazing, but still 3 books that I enjoyed reading. So we will consider this a success. We have now come to the end of this video, though. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content. That way I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.